Welcome back. I already made videos about how we deploy to Firebase, but I'm going to do it once more just to kind of have it available. And it's pretty simple. So if you jump into your Firebase and you go into your project and you select hosting, there's actually a small guide on how to do it right here. So we'll get started right here and you'll see Npm Install Firebase tools. That's the first step. So I'll just copy this right here. So we'll execute the command right here and we'll just give it a second. I already have it installed, so I'll just let it run. Jump back, the next step is going to be deploy, and there we need to kind of log into Firebase. So you run this command right here as the second step, and what you'll pretty much get is, with the Firebase login command right here, what you'll get is just a question about your username, your password, and then you can log in. So that's of course your Firebase username and your Firebase password. I already did that, so I don't want to do that step right now. The next step is we want to explain to the system that we are going to actually initialize a Firebase project right here in our solution. So I'll just give some room right here and I'll paste this one in, Firebase init. Now, if you already have a Firebase project, I'll just show you how you can get rid of that. Now in this case, what I want to do in it is actually hosting right here. So I'll just go down and check this out and I'll do enter. And now it just creates some stuff for me. It asks, which of these projects do you want to host your app on? And mine is the awesome product. That's the one I'm building right now. So that's where I want to do the hosting. And now comes some questions. Now let's just mess this up right now. I'll just fail miserably. I'll just press enter, enter, enter. I'll dive into these in a second, but notice it creates two projects, two files for me. And if you guys mess up at any point, you can always get rid of these files and you'll solve your problem right away. So I'll just show you that. Right now I just made a mistake. Oops, I didn't want to actually do that. I misclicked, I did something bad. And notice there are these two files right here and you'll remove those and then you're ready to restart. So I'll get rid of these. There we go, they're gone, and now I can do a Firebase init again like nothing happened. So that's very important. If you guys can't get this up and running, maybe try and remove those and try and do another init and try to restart the process. So what do we need to do? Well, the first step that I need is actually explain to the system, let's just get rid of this public folder as well. I need to explain that I actually want to start deploying or building this to kind of upload my new product. And we can do that by saying ng build -- prod for saying I want to build this for production, right? Now the first thing you'll probably see is something like this. Property Firebase does not exist in the production, right? So the problem is because I wrote -- prod right here, it's trying to use not the basic environment right here where I have my Firebase variable. It's actually trying to use the environment production right here where I didn't have my Firebase variable. So I'll just copy this into the new area. And the cool thing is, now you can actually decide if you want to work locally with one Firebase instance, you can do that. And then as soon as you build for production, you can use another Firebase instance. So that's up to you. It's really up to you if you want to do that. But let's just run this again. Now this is available in both environments. So now it should actually solve the problem. So notice the -- prod pretty much just says, if you have that, it'll take this file. If you don't have it, it'll take this file, right? So it's pretty basic way to kind of figure out if you have different environment variables, you can put them inside this area and say -- prod and they will show up. And if you don't have them, you can put it in this file and just don't have the -- prod, and then it'll actually use these pieces of the puzzle. So it's actually done building the file, and we could dive into what these files are all about, but you can do it yourself. I have videos about that in the last series, so go and check that out. But we have these files available. Now notice one thing right away. It's actually under the dist folder and then under something called module test app. Now if you're annoyed by this extra folder that you're getting, which I kind of am, I'm going to remove that now. So let's just go back down here and have a look at something called Angular JSON file, because I want my files to be put directly under the dist folder. I'll show you why in a second. It's just easier, to be honest. So I'll jump down into my Angular JSON file, and if you check out this file, there's a place called build down here under architect, and there it says you should put the output path under dist / and then it puts in this module test app. I'll just remove that because I want my files to be put directly under the dist folder. So let's just save that and run this once more. And you'll notice the build actually goes in and cleans up this folder now and removes everything in there. So if you put anything in here you want to keep, gotta get rid of it because it will be deleted. And it'll rebuild this folder now, and it'll put things directly under the dist folder now instead of putting it under dist / and whatever I had before, right? So after a bit of time, the dist folder pops up right here, and you'll notice here we have all the files directly under the dist folder. So these are the files I want to upload. These are the files you want to put on Firebase. That's why you need to know that is put in here when you do a build, right? These are the files I want to upload now to Firebase. Now, if you did have that subfolder, you would have to put in dist slash and then the subfolder's name in what we're going to do right now. So let's go back to step one. I know that was kind of a detour, but let's go back to step one. Now we've removed everything to do with Firebase again, and now we'll try and do a Firebase init again. Firebase init. There we go. We're back to the Firebase init. We say we want to do some hosting. Let's check that one. I press enter, and we want to host this on the one I call Awesome Products app. Press enter. Now comes the first very important question. Where is your files? Where did you put your files? And this is where I can just put in dist now. If you kept the name right here that we had before, let me try and show you, I would have to write dist slash and then the name. And it's not a big thing, you just have to remember to do it if you put it inside the output path. Let's just get rid of that because I didn't do that. Now I just have everything directly under the dist folder because I only have one single app, so I don't want to move it into that one. So now that was the first question, where do you have your files? Under the dist folder. Okay, so the next one is this a single page application? Yes, Angular is single page application, meaning we get one app down and there we get some JavaScript to execute the rest of the work. Single page applications. Yes, boom. Do you want to create a new index file? No. This index file is built specifically for Angular. So the answer is definitely no. I don't want to create a new index file. And the final thing is, I'm ready. You can now publish if you want to. Let's jump back to this guy and say now we want to deploy it, right? So I'll just paste this in here. I'll do Firebase Deploy. That's like the final CLI command to kind of put this back onto Firebase. Now again, you couldn't do this unless, of course, one, you're logged in, you have initialized a Firebase setup right here, and then you can do the deploy. And now if everything is put in the right location, so if you have your Firebase dist folder right here, and if you put your files in that folder, it'll now deploy things correctly. If you by mistake still have the subfolder and you deploy to the dist folder only, you won't get a running system. So it's very important that you put in the correct information. Go back and check the video if you kind of make this fail. And again, the point, if you make it fail, just try over. Start out by removing the .firebase, Firebase JSON, debug, anything that says .firebase something, get rid of that. Boom, remove it. And when it's done, go back and init the solution again and try and put in the correct path names. But this should be it. Going back to my solution right here and say finish, refreshing the page, boom, we have an app. Going into the awesome product app, let's see if it can load. Boom, we have the app, pressing products. Boom, we have the products. Woo! Going here, I'll say snurf. I'll add an image right here, blurf, and this will be the small deer. Oh, hello dear. And I'll say add, and hopefully it'll pop up, boom, as the new deer. Look at that, I'm live, using a live system, a live database, live file storage, live hosting. Oh my God, you gotta love it, it's just simple to work with. That's it for this lesson, see you next time, have fun.